I'm going to be brutally honest with you. No bullshitting, no anything of that. Simple yes or no question. Does Iman Gadzhi actually change lives? Yes. I wasn't gonna bother with another exposed video where I was just gonna talk about some random shit Iman did, and then at the end I was gonna tell you Iman is actually a good guy, I just think his course is overpriced. I refuse to waste your time like that, so I'm gonna give you the answer at the first 30 seconds of the video. Iman Gadzhi does change lives, and you already know it. And if you don't believe this, just go in the comment section of one of his vids. But then, how does he change lives? This is the tricky question that nobody ever talks about. So follow me on this journey to understanding how does Iman Gadzhi positively influence so many people. So I hope you know that changing lives, it's not something you do so easily. It's not something you do by simply giving a few good tips. There are always multiple factors in it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about the 3 main reasons behind his enormous positive influence. Reason number 1. There is a revolution going on. And you know this. If you're watching this video, you know this. Men are sick of the shit they've been fed all this time. They're sick of being broke, they're sick of being unhealthy, unattractive to women, and hated by society. This is why it's happening what it's been happening. Like, this is why Andrew Tate blew up so much. It's because men are sick of this. Men want to change the situation, want to be strong again, want to be wealthy again. I just realized this recently. I was watching a few videos of this contest, and on my homepage I saw a video of this guy named Vapur. Vapur. And he did a really good video for this contest, and I watched it and I realized, holy fuck, we are so similar. A guy who went from being a normal gamer who did videos of gaming, because that was who I was a few months ago, who went from being a gamer to being a guy who wants to improve himself and wants to achieve success on YouTube and make money. In that moment, something clicked in my mind that was like, holy fuck, there are like thousands and thousands of people who are in the same situation as I am. Because this can seem a really lonely journey, because the people around you usually don't care about self-improvement and don't care about trying to get money. Most of them are stuck in mediocrity. Once you get out of your small community and start watching things from a global perspective, you start seeing that there are thousands and thousands of people who are in the same situation as you are, who have the same accomplishments, who are doing the same journey, and who have the same problems. This is an actual movement. In Iman's specific case, it's because people have been fed the lie of go to school and get rich, and they understood that something was off, and then they saw a guy, Iman, 22 years old, high school dropout, making millions, wanted to learn from him how he did it. They started learning how to actually get rich in a world that wants you poor. And a lot of people are actually scared about the rat race. Like, as time goes on, as more and more people start exposing the matrix, young men are actually starting to get scared about the rat race. Like, they want to avoid it at all cost. We want to avoid it at all cost. I am in it too. A lot of people underestimate the power of this thing. Like, this is an actual revolution. Millions and millions of people are going the other way around, are rejecting society and are starting to go in the opposite way from the way they were meant to go. And because there is more and more people going this way, more and more people start joining the group, joining this revolution. And Iman is just in the front of the crowd. He started doing this a long ago, 6 years ago he started this. So now, when this shit is starting to get big, he is a guy with a lot of experience, even if he's young, so he can teach us the things that he learned on his journey. Reason number 2, he is a positive role model. And I know that most of people won't like to hear this, because they wanna say, hey, I don't have role model, I only think with my brains. You have role models, we all have, like it or not. You always have someone to look up to and say, I wanna be like this guy. Think it from an evolutionary standpoint. When we were in the caves, we all looked up to the alpha male, because we all wanted to be like the guy who gets all the food and all the bitches. You always have someone to look up to, you always have someone that influences you. And you can decide. Most of people have woke celebrities as role models, or they have their broke and depressed teacher as role models. In any of these cases, you have someone that influences you. You have someone that programs you. So you can decide, you can have a broke guy as a role model, or you can have Iman Gadzhi as a role model, a guy who's 22 and has a net worth of 25 millions, something like that. And most of the time isn't even intentional, like you don't think to yourself, Iman is my role model. Your brain simply does it automatically because he sees Iman and he says, this guy has something I want, this guy is rich, I want to be rich, so he knows how to get rich. I better listen to him because he knows something that I don't know. He knows how to get money and I want money. There's nothing special, it's just you imitating a guy that has something you don't. This is the most natural thing. We tend to imitate other people, especially if they are very, very powerful and successful, because it means a higher chance of survival. Reason number 3. It's not about one thing, it's about the constant influence. This ties up to the previous point, because you are influenced by other people, by the people who are powerful, by the people who are close to you, and by the majority of people. So the truth is that the majority and the close ones usually have a terrible, terrible influence on you. Because if you listen to your parents' advice about money, you'll probably end up broke. If you listen to the dating advice your friends give you, you'll end up single. If you listen to the life advice your teachers give you, you'll probably end up depressed. I'm not telling you that they necessarily want bad things for you, but the truth is that they give bad advice because they never had success in those areas of life. But then what does it mean? It's not about one thing, it's about the constant flow. Well, most of the people approach life like, yeah, this is the time I'm going to achieve success. This is the thing that I've been missing all this time. They open a YouTube video thinking, this is the information I needed all this time. Oh my god. But that's not how it works. One single piece of advice will never change your life, even if it's the best advice ever given. Not because of the advice itself, but because we live in a world where, as I said, there is constant bad influence around you, around every corner. Your brain is in a constant fight between different ideas, contrasting each other. So what makes him so capable of changing lives is the fact that no matter what and when, you'll always have his YouTube channel to watch. So you'll always have a positive influence that keeps you striving for your goals. It's not only about the power of his influence, but it's especially about the consistency of his positive message. That's why all the red pill YouTube creators are using this tactic of publishing millions of short, is because to fight off the negative influence the world around gives, you have to put in constant positive powerful influence. And Iman is good at putting constant influence because he has been doing this for 6 years. You can find his old videos where you actually see him doing the journey that we are taking right now. There is always some of his content that spreads his message around. Even if sometimes it seems like he's repeating himself, it seems like his advice is no good anymore, I already heard these things. But I'll tell you something, the best book, you read it, reread it, reread it, and every time you read it, you can learn something new. And you'll reread it until you literally won't be able to read anymore. Even if it's the same book, even if it's the same information you supposedly know. It's not because the information changed, it's because you changed and now you can understand more from this information. So remember that the things that happen now won't change the world, but the things that happen every day for the rest of your life, they'll really make a big impact. Well, I hope you liked this video, I hope you learned something new. Subscribe please, and now stop binge watching every single video that appears on your homepage and start doing something productive.